All right, so why is the system setting its sights on your gas and propane powered appliances? They say it's the lower carbon. I say it's really just to basically control where you live. What am I talking about? Well, it's Freedomville. Like, subscribe, I'll explain. Okay, like when you live off grid, like I've done the van life thing. I got a solar system up there for $700-800, I think, maybe 1,000, we'll just round up. It produces all the power I need. I've got a little 30-liter chest freezer, Bouge RV, and it keeps things frozen. It uses about 30 watts, only runs for maybe a third of the day. It's great. It's fucking great. Now, then we come over to, this whole system of how much power would you need versus what you need out in there in the woods. Well, let's stick with the tiny home. Okay, so tiny home, cheap piece of land, affordably built. Maybe you're using an incinerator toilet, composting toilet, or maybe you're in a place you can actually have a latrine. I mean, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, septic just decomposes it. What's the difference? Now, we get to the whole system of like a house. Okay, so electric water heaters are out of the question because they take an insane amount of energy. So you'd have a propane on demand water heater. Okay, that's easy to do. You only use the gas when you're using it, so you don't really use that much. And as far as the stove, you know, gas powered range, gas powered oven, yeah, you can get those all the time. And you could just go refill your bottles when you go to town occasionally. You're going to do something else like go fishing or go do some business, do some work for somebody. You just go take care of things like you would any other thing. And then there's also the concept that if you're off grid, you're doing, maybe you built the solar aluminum heaters. The good model you could look up for just an example is the aluminum pop can heaters. And then you could do also the solar water heater, where it's basically either copper coil rolled into a deal, or black pipe in a box, and it just heats up your water. And then you have a tank for that for storage. You're using hardly any energy, producing hardly any carbon. But they're like your wood stove and your natural gas appliances, or let's say actually propane in that case. Oh, that's destroying the environment. Well, you're talking. This is the same government that's trying to stop this, that seems to have no problem with China and India. We get how much crap from countries that completely disregard the concept of environmental laws. In fact, how many Western countries talk big game about the environment, but they all buy crap from countries that wholesale pollute? And even if it's not the big players like India and China, take a look over there at a lot of the second or third world countries over in Africa and South America and other places where they literally have these huge ecological disasters over the course of time. And we seem to have no problem with that. Now, it's kind of like what they say, that a lot of the environmental movement in America it's not about the environment, it's a zero growth movement. They make it cost more for you to do anything to the point where it just slows you down. And if they take away all your good options, like they take away your ability just to go out there and live affordably to where you're retired, between 25 to 30, and they want you working, they want you paying for an overpriced house, they want you paying overpriced utilities, all these other things, because that keeps you in the system, that keeps you working, and that keeps GDP flowing. If you can do it yourself and be retired young, well, that means they're not going to get rich off you over the course of time. And poor people are easier to control via taxes. All you have to do is raise the cost of things. Oh yeah, they're having problems making electricity. Oh god, well why don't we build some nuclear? Oh, we can't do that. Like why are you trying to tear out the hydroelectric dams? Like this is water for the desert and it's electricity. Why are you trying to tear all that out? Because they want to increase the cost of the basic things to make it harder for you to live and make you pay more. And not only that, here's another thing: if you're off grid, basically they can't just shut off your meter. Like these new age meters and all this other crap, they could just shut off your power. Just flick a switch somewhere in a building. Like basically touch some shit on a code, and your power's off. Now, if your whole house, like your furnace, your water heater, your everything is basically controlled in that manner, then they can control you in that respect. But when you live off grid, no, it's a lot harder to fuck with that person. So, in my opinion, this is no different than what I've seen over the years with CPS. CPS is less about protecting children and more about controlling people. And yes, I understand there's some tone deaf psychos out there that beat their kids, but for the most part, I've just seen CPS used as a weapon, as a threat against regular good people, like people who want to live off grid, like cool hippie people or, outdoors types that want to live off grid, and they're told, by the government, well, you have to have this and this and this for your children. It's like there's a lot of places where you don't even have to technically have electricity. And what if you were to claim some of this for religious reasons, like the Amish? You're like, well, actually, my people in our religion, we don't believe in this. Okay, so if I'm not an official like Amish or official religion, I can't claim that we don't believe in what you're doing. We can't separate in that respect. No, because it's about keeping you on the plantation and keeping you working, paying for things, buying crap you don't really need. And if more like imagine for a moment that if more people basically were able to check out early as far as retire early and make more jobs for the people that are still here, but it'd be less GDP overall. And that's all you really are. You're just a little GDP battery. And the more effective they are at getting you to work hard and then extracting all of it from you, the better off they're doing. And that's why I say America is not America the free. We haven't been free in ages. It's America the fee. Take off the R, America the fee. And while I might love a lot of the people and a lot of the country, the system is something that's just atrocious. So next time they're talking about taking away something, taking away one of your better options, it's not because they're bringing you a good option. It's because they know if you had the options you have now, there's no way they could sell you on the things they want to do. But anyhow, this is Freedom Phil. That's my rant. That's my ramble. Y'all have a great day and be free while you still can. Take it easy.